So we're gonna fix this up a punk sofa. I'm the good captain from Captain's Custom Works in CKW Studios. And what the heck is a punk sofa? Punk sofa is, I mean, whatever you're sitting on. It's your old milk crates, 5-gallon bucket, CRT monitor. In this case, it is this SE Overton company piano bench that may or may not be a century old. But you know, we're gonna see what we can do with it. Now, the provenance of this particular piano bench, as I'm aware of it anyway, is that it was left on the porch of the house in which we now reside. I do not know that it is 100 years old, but the house is. And they've been making piano benches about that long. This company has. They are, however, absolutely worthless. You can purchase them for nothing. Now, while monetarily worthless and certainly in serious disrepair, it's not without value to us because we're going to sit on the thing. Speaking of using old things, I've got some scraps of material here. I certainly believe in trying to use up what we have, and when I find a piece that fits perfectly, I always think, well, that's probably what I gotta do. Had this cool tan camo. Yeah, it don't fit. Standard green camo corduroy though. Well, that piece will do just about perfectly. For the padding, we'll be reusing some industrial packaging, which is precisely the same material which is inside the most expensive professionally manufactured cushion that I own. First up, of course, there was some depth. So this is kind of how this is. Legs are held on. Screws through these blocks in the corner. Blocks are coming out. Took the top off because we're going to, of course, upholster that. Sweep that a little bit. And probably try to glue up a little bit of this veneer underneath as well. Or tear it out. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Oh, all right, to dry. So it's the next day here. We got stuff taken apart, slightly put back together, and we're gonna continue to do so. Got the base of the seat filled with more Type Bond 3 than probably afford. Type Bond 3. Type Bond 3. Yeah. Got some legs hanging out. Let's clean them up slightly and slap some paint on them. Couldn't help but decide to put some staples in it. The glue's not 100% yet. Punk needs working with what you have, at the risk of overstating. Alright, so as much as I wanted to paint this entire thing some kind of a crazy color, honestly my initial intention had been to match it to the trim details. So a nice eggshell black. But I thought it'd be suitable, plus I have a bunch of a little blaze orange interior. Alright, so now we lay this son of a gun right here. The lid. And we need to do a little demo on it as well, of course, with those hinges. But this veneer is a little so messed up that honestly I think just popping it all off is probably the easiest case, although I may regret that. I may decide right now just not to. Who knows? Yeah, it looks like we're removing not only the carpet, but all the veneer from the top down to the original planks. So, you know, whatever. That'll be fine. Hopefully that'll hold the veneer on the bottom. I'll let that dry. Well, it was pretty humid, but we clamped this stuff up for over 24 hours, and now we'll paint the underside of the lid. Paint the underside of the lid black. That one, not a gag. Genuinely forgot the word lid. Sure, some paint bolts there, standoff, so we can paint the rim of the bottom. Yeah. Alright, time for a little reassembly. Yeah, cat prints already. These supports go here, and especially now that we've got this glossy glaze orange on here, I'm going to attempt putting a nylon washer in between. See if that keeps things from sticking to each other or not. That screw hole with just a little glue and cardboard. Thin cardboard, heavy paper. Top slightly larger because we're going to use for our edge padding some more of this 1/4 inch. Now, Midwest punk tip. If you want to use soft padding instead of like foam padding, and you want to use some padding, because kicking your legs into this is what's going to infuriate everybody if you don't. Old padded flannels. Don't waste, man. Punks don't waste. DIY. So you got some quilted fabric right there. This could be excellent for some padding. In this case, we're reusing industrial packaging. All right, that's hard to see, but you don't want to use pencil on corduroy. Sharpie's gonna bleed through. There we have seriously back and forth, but if one wished to stitch it, make a square cushion by stitching along these lines inside out in this manner, and then flip for your corner. However, we may just do a folded piece. We'll see. Let's set the rest in place. Oh, another tip. You need multiple strips of this. Don't quite cut it all the way through. Fold it over. And your strips will match exactly, or as exactly as you can cut them from. We're not spray bombing it, we're gluing it down. Make sure our seed doesn't get lumpy later. Ah, jeez. Arm hairs. Don't pull the spray glue off the nozzle yet. Just let it drip there and then pull off the whole thing later. Way easier. I'm using Sharpie there because A, it's on the inside, and B, I'm going to get rid of the greater portion. Cut this better. That's what we're talking about. New blades are important and worth. Cutting all the way through because we don't want to give it a chance to, or an easier time popping that out. Now let it tack. This is honestly not the optimum choice for this, but you know, I mean, it'll keep her from scooting more. Here's what you got. Look, it's DIY. Give it a few minutes, let it get nice and sticky. Honestly, for upholstery, the repositionable is not the worst thing in the world. I'm using barge or contact cement or something for, this contact cement. But doing a double side like this, it sticks pretty good. Maker math here for you. How to measure what you need. Put what you got there. These. Just a couple little V relief cuts. And we don't want to go all the way down into the wood. That was actually slightly a little bit hard. Oh well, yeah, that'll be fine. cut the other one, fit just about perfect. So honestly, I just cut a tiny little chunk off the one I cut, and we'll pop it back there, and it'll be mostly fine. It's sticky. Alright, so what we're gonna do for how we actually upholster here is pull this fairly tight, start in the middle, gonna put it over, just gonna staple it pretty darn close to the foam. Do a couple in the middle so it doesn't pop out. To the other side. Now, we don't want to pull this crazy tight. Just want just a little snug, and we want to end up with pretty even tension. A lot of folks say you should do diagonal staples, which I'm absolutely going to. In just a sec. Start on the center so we can line everything else up. And we're going to fill in between these anyway. These sides I got more room, so I'll give them a little wiggle. Center the ends and make sure it's good and snug. The same thing all around. Mostly. Then we're going to get close to the corners, and we're going to show you how we do that. Now we're going to do some corners. Here's another tip. Start on the back. As I say that, I'm like, geez, I'm gonna do this properly. I'm gonna fold the back corners toward the back. And then fold the front corners toward the back. So, one side to just continue going. Make sure you're keeping enough tension like that on there. Tuck this in. Round. Christmas present, but then we're going to find where the corner lines up. Now, one can trim that down if you want, inside that is. 3/4 is good stuff though. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. That's the way you do it. So I've put rubber stoppers on the props here. Pretty much just to keep the paint from sticking to itself on both sides. And I also have in place rubber stoppers here that I'm going to conveniently close the lid on. Oh yeah, that worked perfectly. Nice. That'll give it a little more protection. You know, I mean, you can stash all kind of stuff inside for whatever reasons one might have for that. Well, there you go. Fun sofa made of stuff I found lying around the barn in the attic, and a little bench I found abandoned. So that's cool. It looked pretty sweet here in front of the studio, I think. Provide us a place to sit, well, another place to sit. And I think it's a pretty useful piece of furniture. I'm pretty happy with it. Awesome, no-sew way to rescue some old abandoned furniture. That DIY punk spirit. So thanks for hanging out with me for a little while and refinishing fine furniture, I guess. I hope you had as much fun as I had, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun sitting out on this bench, watching the nature and waiting for my next appointments to show up. And I'm sure they will as well. We'll see you soon with more DIY wackiness. Much love.
Mm.